Hello, everyone. In this episode, we will talk about emotional intelligence and ethical persuasion. That means we will learn techniques to persuade others ethically in corporate and business environments. As usual, let's start by some definitions. Persuasion is a process that helps changing a person's or a group's attitude or behavior toward some event, idea, object, or other persons, even. And this happens by using written, spoken words, or visual tools to convey information, feelings, or reasoning, or a combination of both. Persuasion is often used to convince others to believe in a certain point of view or take a specific action or course of actions. It's a fundamental aspect of the human communication and widely used in various fields such as sales, marketing, advertising, law, politics, and everyday social interactions. Ethical persuasion refers to the practice of influencing persuasion or convincing others to adopt a certain viewpoint, belief, or course of actions through methods that are morally sound, respectful, and ethical, and considerate of the audience's autonomy and well being. And we will discuss specific key elements for ethical persuasion later on in this session. The art of persuasion, on the other hand, is a term that is commonly used and refers to the skillful application of persuasive techniques in a way that is subtle, effective, and often appears natural or effortless. It involves more than just presenting arguments or facts. It's about understanding and appealing to the emotions, values, and beliefs of the audience. On the right side of the screen, you see the mind map of persuasion, which includes the key elements of persuasion. And in the following four slides, we will discuss these key elements in details. The first key element of persuasion includes understanding the audience. Knowing the audience values, beliefs, needs, and preferences is very, very important. And then tailoring the message to resonate with the audience's interests and concerns makes persuasion more effective. Second key element is the clear and compelling messaging. Articulating a clear, concise, and compelling message that is easy to understand and remember. This is crucial for the persuasion to be effective. The message should highlight the benefits or value proposition of the idea or action being promoted. And the third key element is credibility, because establishing the persuader's credibility is essential, and this involves demonstrating expertise, trustworthiness, and authority on the subject matter. Another key element of persuasion is the emotional appeal, connecting with the audience on an emotional level. This can involve storytelling, using vivid language, or appealing to shared values and experiences. The next key element is the logical argumentation. Using logical reasoning and evidence to support your message. And this includes presenting facts, statistics, data, examples, and logical reasoning that back up the argument. The third key element here is reciprocity. People are more likely to be persuaded if they feel that they are getting something in return. And this could be tangible, like a gift, or an intangible, like favor or valuable information, for example. Another key element of persuasion is the social proof, leveraging the influence of peers, experts, or celebrities even. People often look to the behavior and opinion of others when making decisions, and this should be considered carefully. Consistency is another key factor. People like to be consistent in their beliefs and actions. Persuaders can appeal to this by reminding individuals of their past commitments or actions that align with the current persuasive message. Another very important key element of persuasion is the scarcity. This involves highlighting the uniqueness or limited availability of an opportunity, which can make it more attractive and persuasive. Another key element here is rapport building, which involves establishing a connection and rapport with the audience. And this involves showing empathy, respect, understanding towards the audience's perspectives. Also, listening and adaptability. Being a good listener and adapting to the persuasive approach based on the feedback and reactions of the audience is very important. And finally, ethical approach is a key element of ethical persuasion. And here we need to know that ensuring that the methods and content of the persuasion are ethical and respectful for the audience's autonomy and intelligence. The art of persuasion is not about manipulation of others, it's about presenting ideas in a convincing and appealing manner that respects the audience's ability to choose freely and make the decisions without any manipulation. It's a skill that can be developed and refined over time through practice and reflection. Let's summarize the key elements of persuasion and have a look on them together. Understanding the audience, clear and compelling messaging, credibility, emotional appeal, logical argumentation, reciprocity, social proof, consistency, scarcity, rapport building, listening and adaptability, and final, the ethical approach. As mentioned earlier, ethical persuasion refers to the practice of influencing or convincing others to adopt a certain viewpoint, belief, or course of action through methods that are morally sound and ethical, respectful, and also considering the audience's autonomy and well being. It is the form of persuasion that is grounded in principles of honesty, integrity, and fairness. And key aspects of ethical persuasion include: 1. Honesty and transparency, providing truthful information and not misleading information to the audience, being clear about intentions and avoiding deception in any form. Also, it involves the respect for the audience. That means acknowledging and valuing the audience's right to make their own decisions without any manipulation. Ethical persuasion doesn't manipulate others, but rather presents information in a way that allows individuals to make informed decisions. Also, ethical persuasion may include informed consent, ensuring that the audience has all the necessary information to make a decision, including understanding and potential risks or downsides. And this is very important when it comes to conducting any type of discussion to convince others with something. You need to disclose all the information and not to hide anything. Avoiding exploitation. And avoiding exploitation not means not taking the advantage of the audience's vulnerabilities, lack of knowledge, or emotional state to persuade them. Also, beneficence, which is another ethical value, it aims to benefit the audience, or at the very best, ensuring that the persuasion doesn't cause any harm. Fairness and equality. is very important also when it comes to persuasion, ethical persuasion, because treating all members of the audience equally without any discrimination or bias is a cornerstone for an ethical persuasion. Also, to have your arguments balanced. Balanced argumentation, presenting the balanced view of the facts, includes different perspectives rather than only advocating to one side of the story or of an argument. Accountability is another key element, specific key element for ethical persuasion, which involves taking responsibility for the consequences of the persuasive efforts, whether they are intended or unintended. Ethical persuasion is especially important in fields where trust and credibility are paramount. And this is about healthcare, law, education, and counseling. In these areas, the ability to persuade while maintaining ethical standards is crucial. Crucial for maintaining professional integrity and public trust. And here, let's come to a very interesting subject. We will talk about a movie, 12 Angry Men. The learnings from this movie has been studied by Harvard and by Kennedy Law School years ago. And this was part of a workshop about leadership and authority. In fact, this movie includes a lot of learnings about ethical persuasion. 12 Angry Men is a classic movie directed by Sidney Lumet, and it features Jack Lemmon in 1997 remake. It is a profound study of dynamics of negotiation, decision making, and ethical persuasion. Set in a jury deliberation room, the film revolves around the 12 jurors tasked with a decision, a seemingly straightforward murder case. As the narrative unfolds, it becomes a compelling exploration of persuasion, ethics, and the complexities of human nature. Ethical persuasion in the movie is considered a master class in ethical persuasion, primarily demonstrated through a juror who is the main actor of the movie. He is in the movie is juror number 8, portrayed by Jack Lemmon. And his approach to influencing the other jurors provides valuable lessons. We will provide the link to this movie, and I encourage you to watch it not once, but twice or even more. So, what are the valuable lessons from this movie? 1. Respect for individual autonomy. Juror number 8, the main character of the movie, respects the opinions of others, even when they disagree, and even when he disagrees. He listens attentively and responds thoughtfully, valuing each juror's autonomy in the decision-making process. Also, the use of logical reasoning. Instead of relying on emotional manipulation alone, juror number 8, Jack Lemmon, uses logical arguments and factual evidence to persuade his fellow jurors. His approach is to appeal to their sense of reason and justice. Another important learning from this movie is about empathy and understanding, where Jack Lemmon demonstrates a deep understanding of and empathy for the defendant, who was in the movie a young man from a disadvantaged background. This empathy guides his efforts to ensure a fair deliberation. Also, another important lesson from the movie is avoiding aggression. Unlike some of the other jurors who resort to aggressive tactics and ways and personal attacks, juror number 8 maintains a calm and composed attitude, focusing on the merits of the case rather than any personal bias. Also, you can learn from this movie how to encourage open dialogue. He fosters an environment where all jurors feel comfortable expressing their doubts and concerns, facilitating a more deep and collective decision making process. Also, another learning is about challenging prejudices. The film highlights the danger of prejudices and the stereotypes in decision making. Juror number 8, Jack Lemmon, challenges his peers to reconsider their biases and look at the facts objectively. Persistence and patience both are important areas that you can learn more about from this movie. The persistence of Jack Lemmon in the face of the opposition and his patience in dealing with differing opinions are key elements in gradually swaying the opinions of the other jurors. That is to say, this movie, 12 Angry Men, is a timeless education of how ethical persuasion can be a powerful tool in seeking truth and justice. The movie teaches that persuasion, when grounded in respect, empathy, and logic, can lead to transformative outcomes. It also underscores the importance of standing up for one's convictions ethically and respectfully, making it relevant and instructive for anyone interested in the dynamics of persuasion and decision making process. I encourage you, as I mentioned before, to watch this movie before getting to this lesson. If you couldn't manage to do that, please watch the movie once or twice with those learning lessons in mind.